Hi there. I am enough. You are enough. It's something, this term being enough is bandied around everywhere. I see it so much. And I debated whether or not to do this blog. But I just thought I've got to, because I know how much this can really impact how you show up in your daily life. And whilst this may be a journey that you're forever on, to really embrace and really feel enough, there are certainly things that you can do to help yourself on a daily level and a daily way to be able to cultivate more confidence that will help support you believing in yourself, trusting in yourself, and that all leads to a greater sense of feeling enough. And it's even more important on a fertility journey, because I'm guessing that you've been in something really difficult for months, years, and no matter what you've done, diets you've committed to, programs that you've done, changes in your lifestyle that you've made, it's still not resulted in a baby. And that can bulldoze your confidence. So many of you before coming into this journey, I'm sure would have before put your head down, worked hard, and got whatever it is that you set out to achieve. Yet a fertility journey doesn't seem to work along those same set of rules. They all seem to go out the window, and as hard as you try and do the right thing, the baby can still be very, very elusive. So that can be so crushing to your sense of confidence, and certainly doesn't leave you feeling enough. So in today's session, I want to share with you a technique that is going to really help to nurture and nourish yourself and start to create an opportunity where you can, throughout your day, throughout your week, start to go, okay, maybe I did all right here. In fact, I can own this and say, yep, with that, I did well. And that is so glorious in amongst a landscape that perhaps can feel all tarnished with something that you really don't want it to be. So what is this? This practice involves recognizing, firstly, who's in control of your thoughts most of the time. So what do I mean by that? I'm going to introduce you to two characters. One is your inner critic and one is your inner cheerleader. Now, just even as I say those names, which one do you reckon is in control of most of your thoughts on a day-to-day basis? I'm gonna guess if you're reading or watching this, your inner critic or your inner bitch, let's be honest, she's not particularly friendly, and certainly not very nice, is gonna be having the majority of the stage time in your head. And your inner critic's job is to make you doubt yourself. Your inner critic's job is to judge yourself, is to criticize you for everything that you do, stand for, believe. Your inner critic is exactly that. She will criticize everything about you and to you, and given half the chance, can do it relentlessly. And I think that's part of the difficulty when the inner critic gets going, is that she is so full on, isn't she? And actually downright abusive sometimes. And so when she really has so much control and so much power to help balance out who's in your mind and who's got the center stage, you will need to develop a practice where you start to give airtime to your inner cheerleader until your inner cheerleader's voice is a lot stronger and therefore starts to actually come in a much louder, more present way. So to do this, what I encourage is that you start to do a daily practice for the next 7 days. Each day, each morning, you think about something that you want to do that you wouldn't normally do, and you go do that. This is called practicing courage, because it takes courage to do something different. It takes courage to do something that you wouldn't normally do. And so by doing something that you wouldn't normally do, that's then you starting to develop a different conversation with yourself. And your inner critic doesn't tend to be so loud when you're doing something new, because you've got to be a bit more present. You've got to be a bit more aware about what it is that you're doing. She might have a voice beforehand, but you'll get preoccupied with the task and she'll calm down. So what might be some of these things that you wouldn't normally do? Well, firstly, I suggest that you start small, especially if you're new to a practice like this. So, for example, if you are normally the one who waits to be invited to things, perhaps you could go and be the invitee. So you go and invite a friend of yours out for a cuppa. Or perhaps you tend to cook the same things day in, day out. Well, make today then a day where you go online and you pull off a recipe, go and get the bits for that recipe, and you cook something totally new that you've never cooked before. Or maybe you go the same route to work day in, day out, and actually you'd like to see something a little bit different. Perhaps make it a route that you would much rather do. It takes you past houses that you'd like, or past field trees, that you go and do that one day. Anything that you wouldn't normally do, you go and do. And when you do that repeatedly for 7 days, a different task each day, you're practicing flexing another part of your being. And that becomes really powerful in itself, because you're opening yourself up to new experiences. And when you open yourself up to new experiences, then you start to open yourself up to the possibility of another sense of self. One that your inner critic wouldn't let you believe is there, but one that your inner cheerleader would. And then what I want you to do is that at the end of each day, you will write down, take your journal, notepad and pen, and write down 1 to 3 things that went well for you in the day. Now, they might be related to the thing that you did differently, but they could be anything that you did in that day that went well. So you write down 1 to 3 things that happened to you or you witnessed in that day that went well. And you can either make them so that they went well for you or for somebody else, but that you were involved. And then just pause, take a moment, connect with how that makes you feel. And by doing that just before you go to bed, what it happens is that you review your day, so you begin to close down your day, and then you've got this wonderful list, this evidence list of what went well for you in that day, that's fresh in your mind, fresh, ready for the cheerleader to be like, go, 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 ready for you to then take into your sleep. And if you do this every day for 7 days, I invite you to get curious about what this might lead to, what this might develop, what might grow as a result of this. And it certainly gives the opportunity for there to be growth within your confidence, and for you to really see that when you put your mind to something, no matter how small it is, you can start to create wins in your life. And that really challenges your inner critic, because your inner cheerleader has got the evidence and it's written down, it happened, as to where you started to create wins in your life. And that's the quickest and most surest way to start growing your confidence, your self-belief, and your self-trust, which really starts to provide fuel for you feeling enough. So give this a go, and I would love to know how you get on. Do drop me a message, letting me know at the end of your 7 days what things may have showed up. And likewise, if you find yourself stuck with this, or at any part of your fertility journey where you're really feeling like, actually, I'm not feeling enough, then by all means, give me a call. I offer a free 30-minute mini consultation to every woman. So drop me an email and we can start to arrange time to connect. Maybe even make that your one act of courage for the day, something that you wouldn't normally do. Who knows where that may lead for you. So in the meantime, have fun, get playful with this, see what comes up, and let me know how you go. Sending you lots of love.